The night draped Asheville like a dark velvet cloak, thick and suffocating. Under the full moon, the streets lay eerily silent, devoid of life, except for the occasional rustle of the autumn leaves. Street lamps flickered, casting long, sinister shadows that danced on the sidewalks. The moon, a bloated specter in the sky, bathed everything in a ghostly silver hue. It was on nights like these that the townsfolk shuttered their windows tight and whispered about the old legends. They spoke of creatures lurking in the mountains, of howls that pierced the stillness of the night. Even the air seemed to hold its breath, as if anticipating something unspeakable. In the distance, a dog howled a long, mournful sound that seemed to echo off the mountains surrounding Asheville. It was this sound that would soon herald a change so profound, it would shake the very foundations of this sleepy town. Tom Hawkins had always been just another face in the crowd, a mild-mannered librarian with a penchant for old books and quiet evenings. But tonight, as he walked home under the full moon, a strange prickling sensation crawled up his spine, unsettling yet oddly invigorating. He couldn't shake the feeling that something was watching him. His transformation began subtly. First, it was the heightened senses, sounds became sharper, and the night colors more vivid. Then, the pain started, excruciating and all-consuming, as his bones and muscles contorted in ways nature never intended. Tom fell to his knees, a scream trapped in his throat. In the throes of agony, Tom's human silhouette twisted grotesquely, his cries melding with the nocturnal symphony of Asheville. Shadows writhed around him, as if the darkness itself was reshaping him. When the pain subsided, standing in place of Tom Hawkins was something else entirely, a creature of nightmares, formed by moonlight and shadow. As morning crept over the horizon, a palpable tension hung over Asheville. News of strange, unexplainable events from the night before started circulating, a chorus of whispers rising with the sun. Pets were missing, eerie tracks found near homes, and an unsettling chill lingered in the air. In the local diner, over cups of steaming coffee, the residents exchanged hushed theories and glances. Could the legends be true? Was there a beast prowling their streets under the cover of night? The sense of unease was palpable, almost tangible, as the town collectively held its breath. As the day wore on, the whispers coalesced into a singular, fearful certainty. Something unnatural was among them. Each shadow seemed to harbor potential horrors, each creak and groan of the old buildings a signal of lurking danger. Nightfall was approaching, and with it, an oppressive dread settled over Asheville. The second night under the full moon, the transformation of Tom Hawkins was no longer a painful anomaly but a horrific spectacle. As the moon climbed higher, his humanity slipped away, replaced by a primal, monstrous hunger. His senses sharpened, the night sounds calling to him a symphony of potential prey. He moved with a grace that belied his grotesque form, stalking the shadows of Asheville with an inhuman patience. Each step was measured, each breath a calculated silence. The hunt was on, and the beast reveled in the power coursing through its veins, driven by an insatiable hunger. Tonight, unlike any other, his howls weren't just cries of pain but declarations of dominance. They echoed through the valleys, sending shivers down the spines of all who heard them. The town of Asheville, once vibrant and bustling, was now a playground for a creature born of darkness and moonlight. Echoes of fear resonated through Asheville as the town's response grew frantic. Doors were bolted, curtains drawn tight. The local police increased their patrols, their eyes watching the moonlit streets with a mix of fear and determination. The town was on edge, every sound a potential signal of the beast's approach. Citizens gathered in the town hall, demanding answers and protection. The mayor, pale and resolute, promised action but had little to offer in the way of reassurance. The legends, once mere tales to scare children, were now all too real, and the town found itself woefully unprepared. Amidst the chaos, a small group of brave souls decided to take matters into their own hands. Armed with whatever they could find, they set out as night fell, determined to confront the beast that haunted their streets. Their resolve was strong, but so was the terror that clutched at their hearts. As the town of Asheville fortified itself against the night, the werewolf, once Tom Hawkins, embraced the darkness anew. His instincts, purely animalistic now, guided him effortlessly through the terrain he once tread as a man. The hunt was instinctual, driven by a deep, unyielding hunger. With each movement, the werewolf calculated the risks, using the shadows as his allies. His ears twitched at every slight rustle, his nose sniffed the air for the scent of fear, a scent that permeated the town. It was not just the physical presence he hunted, but the fear itself, which seemed to nourish him. The clash was inevitable. The group of townsfolk, torches and weapons in hand, finally faced the beast in a clearing. The confrontation was swift and ferocious. Claws and teeth met with the steel and fire of human resolve, a dance of death under the uncaring gaze of the moon. The battle raged under the watchful eyes of the moon. The werewolf, powerful and swift, was a blur of fur and fangs. The townspeople fought desperately, their fear fueling their courage. Blood, both human and beast, stained the silver-tipped grass of the clearing. In the heat of the confrontation, a moment of clarity pierced the beast's frenzy. Tom's eyes, glowing with a feral light, met the terrified gaze of his neighbor. In that instant, a flicker of humanity shone through the monstrous veneer. It was a fleeting connection, overwhelmed by the beastly instincts. This momentary lapse allowed the townspeople a critical advantage. They rallied, pushing the werewolf back with a newfound vigor. But as the creature retreated into the shadows, the realization dawned on them they had not vanquished their foe, merely driven it away. The curse of the crescent moon was far from lifted. As dawn broke over Asheville, the town was left to reckon with the night's horrors. The werewolf had vanished, but the scars it left were deep and palpable. In the light of day, the townsfolk gathered once more, this time to share their grief and fortify their resolve. Amidst the discussions, a chilling revelation surfaced. The werewolf, they discovered, was not a creature of ancient legend but one of their own, Tom Hawkins, the quiet librarian. The shockwave this revelation sent through the community was palpable. How could one of their own transform into such a nightmare? This knowledge changed everything. The fear was no longer directed at an unknown monster, but at the terrifying possibility that anyone among them could be next. The full moon would return, and with it the potential for more horror. The line between man and monster had blurred, leaving a community forever altered. The aftermath of the werewolf's terror lingered long after the beast itself had disappeared into the shadows. Asheville was changed. The nights were longer, the shadows deeper. Parents hugged their children tighter, and whispers filled the evenings, a constant reminder of the terror they had faced. Efforts to understand and prevent further transformations began. Scientists and mystics alike were drawn to Asheville, each with theories and tools aimed at unraveling the curse. But despite their best efforts, a solution remained elusive, the fear of the unknown a constant companion to the townsfolk. The legacy of the beast was not just one of fear, but also of a community bound together by shared terror and a common enemy. They watched the phases of the moon with wary eyes, each crescent a reminder of the night when the line between man and beast was erased. The tale of the werewolf might have ended, but the terror it spawned did not. Asheville lived in the shadow of the beast, every unexplained incident a potential sign of its return. The town had learned a hard lesson: fear was a powerful, lingering force. As the next full moon approached, a new series of strange events began to unfold. Pets started to disappear again, eerie howls filled the night, and old fears reawakened. The townsfolk watched and waited, their eyes filled with dread, wondering if the cycle was beginning anew. Could Asheville ever truly be free of the werewolf's curse, or was the beast merely lying in wait, gathering strength for its next appearance? This was the question that hung over the town, a chilling reminder that some stories, like nightmares, have a way of returning just when you think you've woken up.